Welcome back to my channel. So it is Sunday. I am sick. I'm not like deathly ill, but like I've definitely been fighting something. But it's Sunday and my kids need to eat and the show must go on. So we are prepping. I also cleaned my fridge yesterday and I found some stuff that I just need to use up. I have some cottage cheese, I have yogurt. Basically that's it that I need to use. So I'm making protein bagels, I'm making the cottage cheese bagels, and I'm going to be making granola for yogurt bowls. The boys can have those in the morning. And I'm also gonna make oatmeal raisin muffins. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do for now. We'll see how the day goes. I also need to go grocery shopping, but the baby just went down, so I'm gonna try and get this done while he's sleeping. And yeah, that's it. That's all I have to say. Let's get going, shall we? Okay, well, change of plans. My husband just told me that my kids ate all of the raisins, so we're not gonna have oatmeal raisin muffins, but I can do apple cinnamon oatmeal muffins instead because I have apples. That for sure I know. So, and this is life with kids. You go to make something and you can't because it's not there because your kids eat everything in your house, especially with teenagers. But it's fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. We're pivoting. Let's go. Okay, so I'm just starting with my apple cinnamon muffins. And I'm gonna put all of the recipes in the description below if you want like the full recipe, but basically I just started with flour, oatmeal, honey, baking soda, flax, chia, coconut oil, and some grated apple. You definitely could cut your apple into chunks if you wanted to, but because I'm giving these to the baby and I'm lazy, I just used a box grater and I'm grating the apple in here. So it's kind of hard to see. And I'm gonna put it in a stand mixer and I'm gonna add milk as needed. So I'm not adding any added sugar or anything like that into this. The apples and the honey are going to be like plenty sweet. So I'm gonna add it into my stand mixer and I'll add milk as necessary until I get the consistency that I'm looking for. And then I'm gonna bake them in the oven at 375. Okay, so that took like 7 minutes to get those in the oven. And while those are baking, I'm gonna work on my bagels. Bagels, I don't know how y'all say them. But this recipe is so easy. It's honestly like 1-to-1, either Greek yogurt or I do cottage cheese, but Greek yogurt works perfectly as well. I'm gonna blend my cottage cheese so that it's not chunky. You could leave it chunky, I'm sure, but I like mine blended. And it's literally 1-to-1 cottage cheese or yogurt and flour with like a little pinch of baking soda. And then you form them into bagels. Like I'll show you the whole process. It's also on my Instagram. If you're not following me there, make sure that you do. It's cat.fitsp, just like it is here. And I post recipes there every day. Like the simple version of this recipe is also posted on my Instagram. So make sure you check that out. But yeah, so I'm just gonna do that up quickly. And then when these come out of the oven, I do have like a small little batch left. So it's gonna do more than 24 muffins, which is nice. Probably get like maybe 36, so like a 2-3 dozen. Yeah, so when those come out of the oven, I'll do the second batch and then I'll put these in the oven. So I'm just gonna get these prepared now. And the first thing I need to do is just blend them in a food processor. Okay, so I have my blended cottage cheese. As you can see, it's just really nice and creamy and smooth now. So I'm gonna dump this in my bowl. I have 2 cups. Spatula. I have 2 cups of cottage cheese, so I'm going to do 2 cups of flour, about a tablespoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of baking soda, and just a touch of salt. And I think what I'm going to do this time, I do have like a little bit of leftover cream cheese, so I think I'm going to make some bagel bites for the baby for lunch. I've never done that before. I don't know if it's gonna work, so pray for me. Let's see. So yeah, I'm gonna get all this mixed together. So here are the 6 bagels. As you can see, they're a pretty decent size, like a pretty standard bagel size. This is what I have left, so I am gonna make another batch. I'll just use like 1-to-1 ratio. And as you can see, this is like my bowl of seasoning. This is what I use, the Clubhouse Everything Bagel seasoning. I just get this from Costco. So once I roll them, I just dip them into here. And now I'm going to bake them in the oven at 375 for like between 20 and 25 minutes until they're fully cooked. So my kitchen's a disaster. Obviously, don't mind that. But I just took these out of the oven. And I had to sample one, obviously. And they're really, really good. So they're refined sugar free, they are additive free, preservative free, they are like super high in fiber, they have flax and chia and oats and whole flour. So yeah, and they were honestly like, they took me maybe 5 minutes to whip together. So super easy and something you can feel good about feeding your kids in the morning. We're gonna move on to some granola, also like super easy. Literally just oats, melted coconut oil, honey, and then whatever like seasonings or flavors you want. So I'm gonna do 2 cups of oats, half a cup of honey, half a cup of melted coconut oil. I'm gonna do half a cup of flax, half a cup of chia. That's also something in my fridge that I just need to use. So we're gonna use it. And then that's it. And then I'm going to bake it in the oven. Again, full recipes will be below, and then the kids can have that on yogurt and fruit in the morning for breakfast. They can have muffins for like a snack with their lunches. Yeah, so let's get that granola going. Okay, I also just found some Brazil nuts in my pantry. So I chopped up some Brazil nuts and I'm putting that in the granola as well. So this is the granola after I mixed everything in. And then I'm just going to spread this on a sheet pan and bake it so it's nice and crispy. Okay, so these are the bagels when they're done. And I'm just going to let these cool. And as they're cooling, I'm going to put the granola in the oven. So I'll show you what that looks like in just a sec. So here's the granola. I have my oven at 350 and I have a parchment lined baking sheet and I just thinly spread it, maybe about like an inch or so thick and lightly packed it down. I'm going to bake it for about 20 minutes and I'm going to turn it halfway through. When I turn it, I am going to pack it down again, and that is going to give you that nice like clusters of granola. And then after 20 minutes, I'm going to take it out of the oven and I'm going to let it like cool almost completely before I start breaking it up. Okay, so this is about the halfway mark. I'm just going to like zhuzh it around a little bit. You see what I'm saying? And then I'm going to flatten it back out as much as I can. This is what is going to give you like the good clumps. So you want a pretty thin layer. Okay, now pop it back in the oven for like 10 to 12 minutes and then take it out and let it cool completely. All right, so this is what it should look like when it's done. It's still very soft, so make sure you don't touch it or mess with it or else you won't get clumpy granola. So just let it cool as much as you possibly can. At the very least an hour, but as long as you can is best. Okay, I kind of got ahead of myself a little bit and I made these little bagel bites, but I did not film it. So basically I just used the same bagel recipe that I showed you, and I had some leftover cream cheese and I like put like a dime size amount of cream cheese into a ball, and then I rolled the dough over top of the cream cheese. So this is exactly the same as the bagel dough that I just showed you. I did use obviously less of a ratio. I had a little bit left, and then I just did a half a cup of blended cottage cheese with a half a cup of flour. And then I took like a quarter size amount and I stuffed it with a dime size amount of cream cheese, and I just rolled it over into the balls, and I'm gonna bake these at 375. I'm gonna do 15 minutes. I've never made these before. The bagels usually take 20 to 25, but obviously these are much smaller, so I'm gonna try 15 minutes and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so these are the bagel bites. I just took them out of the oven. I baked them for 15 minutes and I felt like they needed a few more, so I did end up baking them for 20 minutes. But this is everything that I prepped for today. I have the bagel bites, the regular bagels, the apple cinnamon oat muffins, and the granola. I do still have to go grocery shopping today, so I may do some more, but all of this literally took me like just over an hour. And if I had really been like working hard, and if I had really been like trying to hammer it out, I could have done it faster than that. And obviously that time includes bake time as well, like prep time. I would say 20 to 30 minutes to prep all of this stuff. So yeah, we have breakfast, we have snacks for school, which is great. And yeah, if I end up cooking anything else throughout the day, I'll keep you posted. If I don't, then this will be the end of today's prep video. I hope that this was helpful. Check the description down below for all of the full recipes. And I hope that you like and subscribe, and make sure to follow me on Instagram for daily recipes.